All right, let's get into it. Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's purpliest music nerd, and it's time for a weekly track roundup. My thoughts, my feelings, my opinions on a bunch of songs that have come out over the past couple of weeks, honestly, because it's been a minute since we have done one of these. Yes, weekly track roundup. Everything I talk about is linked down below, so you can check it out for yourself, of course, of course, of course. And yeah, that is going to be essentially that. Also linked down below, our Turntable Lab affiliate link. We get kickback from it if you use it to buy some vinyl, buy some speakers, buy some anything. Supports the channel. Also, our Patreon page. Extra bonus monthly content while supporting us in the process. Access to our Discord community too. A lot of cool music aficionados over there, if I say so myself. All right, and worst tracks of the week. We have a handful. We have a few. They are as follows. Bam, a new Tate McRae track, which honestly sounds as generic and average as really any song off of her last record, the one previous to the latest one, and the most forgettable ones on the latest one. Sometimes I feel like Tate cooks on a rare occasion, but this one, tit for tat, is not one of them. And Ice Spice, Baddie Baddie, new one from the New York Queen herself. Unfortunately, this track is kind of like a fail on all fronts. Not only in terms of the lackluster vocal delivery, not really anything standing out in terms of bars, anything funny, anything memorable. But on top of it, we had like a really good quality MIA Bad Girls sample laced into this beat. And yet somehow even that is messed up. Like the tempo's too slow, the drums don't really hit, the sample isn't really employed in an interesting way. This is really just a disappointing one, in my opinion. A disappointing one. Could have been a lot better. The tracks I was meh on the fence with, you might like them more than me, still wanted to shout them out. They are as follows. Bam, FKA Twigs, dropping some extra Eusexua. First taste of that comes in the form of Cheap Hotel, and it's kind of like this really weird spacey art pop track that doesn't really seem like it knows what it wants to do, honestly, in terms of like direction, amount of reverb we really should be using, to the point where like everything is kind of washed out, especially the vocals. Yeah, I mean, I could see why this is like kind of a cutting room floor moment, honestly. I love Eusexua. I think it's a really good record. It's a fun record, probably Twig's most fun record, honestly, but this extra I'm not quite as crazy about. All right, next, Sexyy Red is You Coo. Pretty much a standard one from her at this point. Nothing too amazing, nothing too mind-blowing. Kind of a banger, but I really do wish she would hop on another Take Keith beat, because I really do feel like those sorts of instrumentals give her more space to really kind of make every single bar that she says land, make every bar outlandish. This one was just kind of, I don't know, passable. We also have Portugal the Man, new album on the way. Tenana is the latest single from the forthcoming record. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of just like some okay psych pop pastiche. I mean, nothing too mind-blowing or over the top. If you're a really like, a major head for this genre, then this is probably a must listen, honestly. It's not too bad. It's maybe just like missing a bit of grit, oomph. Next, we have Party of Two, who's coming through with a kind of interesting single, Out of Body. There are moments where I am really loving the rap passages, but with the rock and metal sections, I'm kind of like trying to see the vision, but I feel like the guitars aren't beefy enough, the drums aren't hitting enough. But if the production were upped and improved a little bit, I could totally see this like hitting in the way that it's like intending to with the rap and rock fusion. A lot of artists going for this sort of thing now, and I admire Party of Two for doing it as well as they have on this track, but I feel like it kind of, it didn't quite go that extra mile. Still, America's Next Top Party is an album I am most definitely looking forward to. Also, Blade and Young Lean working together on a new track, Evil World. Kind of so-so cut from them, but, if you really love hearing these guys come together with their very, awkward, sad boy chemistry. You're probably going to dig on this one too. We also have Johan Lennox teaming up with Quedeca for Running, Running, Running. If you really dig on Quedeca's style and sound, many of the tracks on his latest full-length LP, you are most likely going to get something out of this, even if I thought that the production on this one was a bit lacking and maybe just a touch too spacey. We also have Tame Impala over here with Dracula, the most peppy and interesting of all of the singles so far from this forthcoming LP, mostly because this one's kind of like a surprise Halloween track, while it most likely is going to kind of like stick out like a sore thumb in the track list of this album. If this track ended up being kind of like a regular rotation Halloween, yearly, annual Halloween party jam, I wouldn't mind it. It's a fun little track with a bit of a synth funk edge to it, maybe some Chromeo vibes, you could say. Next, Spiritual Cramp hitting us with the song Automatic, which I thought was kind of like some very boilerplate, dancey 2000s era indie rock with a little Block Party, a little Franz Ferdinand. Not quite as, interesting as the past couple of singles, but, definitely like bringing a decent homage to kind of a long gone indie sound, I guess you could say. And we have the best tracks of the week, the ones that really stood out to me, and quite a few of those to go through. So take note, because they are as follows. Bam, Boo Boo 2, Yaeji, teaming up with Underscores and Aliyah's Interlude for, kind of a revamped version of this banger. And I think this one sounds just as fun, if not more fun than, the other Boo Boo that Yaeji's been getting a lot of viral attention off of. We have also Thundercat over here, who's hitting us with a couple of new tracks, but the one I wanted to point to was I Wish I Didn't Waste Your Time. Really great beat, smooth production, awesome bass arpeggios, thoughtful lyrics about kind of a relationship falling apart. Thundercat also dropped a new single with Remy Wolf a while ago as well. It's kind of like this wild jazz fusion almost type jam with a lot of wild vocal parts from Remy, which are pretty thrilling. But yeah, Thundercat is back. New album cycle, new everything. Looking forward to it. We also have Soulfly, which I haven't really thought too much of Soulfly in a while, but there is a new single off of this forthcoming Shama record that has Todd Jones of Nails on it. It's called Nihilist, and it's a sick little kind of like thrashy power violence track with some super aggressive vocals and, a statement itself on nihilism, I guess you could say. We also have a new one from Sleaford Mods over here, which, I'm kind of surprised to kind of hear them come back with Megaton and hear them over, really punchy beat with some forceful vocals. I mean, your usual Sleaford Mods formula, I guess you could say, but it sounds a little revamped and hard hitting this time around, sort of like it was just kind of, hyped up a little bit more and, just slightly improved around the edges to give it some extra punch, which I'm really appreciating. Also liking Silvana Estrada, another great Silvana Estrada single. Take note of that. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Stunning vocal performance. This is one of the best artists out of Mexico right now. Don't miss out on this forthcoming album. It's beautiful. It's lovely. You're most likely going to be stunned by it. Okay, good news. Sorry, good luck, good night is the name of the new single, so give it a listen. You better. Okay, all right, moving on from there. Redveil. Surprised to actually be digging this new Redveil track with Smino as much as I am. Brown Sugar is the title. I mean, it's a little late to be dropping like a really good quality summer jam. It is September after all, but I feel like this track's a summer jam. I feel like this track is a good ass summer jam. And honestly, like one of the hookiest tracks I think Redveil has ever done, frankly. It's very catchy. It is very, 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 very catchy. Hopefully he drops more heat like this very soon. Next, Nia Archives. Nia Archives hitting us with a new single, collaborating with CLIPZ on this one. Maia, Maia is the name of this one. Some awesome jungle and drum and bass on this one. The breaks sound fantastic. I love the call and response vocal samples throughout the track. Thrilling stuff Absolutely, positively thrilling stuff. All right, we also have Miley Cyrus, who is kind of treating us to some extra tracks, adding those onto, this new version of her latest record. One of the songs that she has added to the track list is this 10-plus minute monster with David Byrne, and it's this insane, funky, experimental rock jam that is just absolutely fucking nuts. Miley vocally sounds insane at some points, and her band just sounds incredible on the song. Just an incredible studio moment on this track. I mean, like, what an odyssey. I mean, look, honestly, you're not going to believe it. You're not going to believe this thing until you hear it. You're not going to believe how good it is. You're not going to believe how wild it is. You're not going to believe how off the rails this jam. This is like one of the craziest things Miley Cyrus has ever recorded, even ballsier and gutsier and frankly much better in quality than anything that was like on her Dead Pets record. So, I mean, this is like what Dead Pets should have been, frankly, if it was going to be anything. So give this one a listen. It's off the rails. Also digging on this new single from Mariah Carey and Anderson .Paak. Mariah Carey's latest LP is out now in full. It's out in its entirety, but this sweet little jam with some awesome vocal chemistry with Anderson is, also out and also a single. And in my opinion, quite good. Quite smooth, quite sweet on the ears. We also have a new one from Magdalena Bay. It's an A-side and a B-side as well, but Second Sleep is the A-side, and it's a beautiful track. Absolutely immense strings and arrangements around the song itself. And just like a beautiful, just a stunning, performance from the band, just because like the strings and the huge instrumental, sections on the ending are just honestly like some of the most, I would say maybe glamorous and otherworldly passages of music that I think Magdalena Bay has ever recorded so far in their career. I mean, if they're headed further down this road, I'm very curious to see what else they kind of dig out going in this direction. Going on from there, we have Madeon, who is hitting us with this new High single. Definitely a change in direction on this one. Almost doing like a really crunchy, nasty blog house indie party rock kind of thing with this track. And it sounds incredible. It's amped, it's hype, it's a little lo-fi, it's messy, it's noisy, it's fun. It's totally kicking ass. I'm liking this track. I'm liking this track quite a bit. Also liking this SweetFaceKillah track. I should say from the outset, this is the child of the one, the only SweetFaceKillah, who has been kind of jumping off a music career of their own. SweetFaceKillah is the name of the track. Infinite Coals is the artist. And it's just like this really hype, like almost like hip house ballroom type cut. Great bars, great energy, like awesome driven kicks and grooves. It's, quite the tour de force, I'll say that. Also, next, Genevieve Artadi teaming up with, believe it or not, Real Bad Man. Now, I've heard quite a few Real Bad Man records where the production is kind of lining up with different rap artists. I didn't know Real Bad Man was doing stuff like this with Genevieve, where you're kind of getting almost like an art pop, 80s pop kind of thing going on this new track here. Don't Gotta Think About You, but it's actually like really lovely. It's a lovely nostalgic throwback with some great choruses, and would actually love to hear more, frankly. Moving on from there, we have Florence and the Machine. Digging on this new one. It sort of feels like a very open, jammy, progressively intense art rock tune that, has some very dramatic vocals, which, I mean, you kind of expect from Florence and the Machine, but it just feels like really loose and exciting and kind of like, free and open in a way that I feel like Florence Welch's music hasn't felt in a while. Not since like Florence and the Machine got like really big and, sort of like kind of got their commercial formula like really truly nailed down. This feels like, they're really kind of like opening up the boundaries a little bit and doing something that is a bit more explorative. One of the Greats is the name of the track, and I'm really liking it. Ugh. All right. Next we have Danny Brown. Shout out to him. excuse me, Stardust, Starburst, new album on the way, new single, 3-parter, multiple phases, different flows, different instrumental switch-ups. It's hip-hop, it's electronic, it's pure madness, spoken word outro. What the hell? It's actually quite a thrilling experimental hip-hop piece, and I like that Danny so far into his career is just like continuing to stay challenging, continuing to stay experimental, continuing to stay adventurous, but keeping it interesting and lively and energetic at the same time. It's not just some, boring, masturbatory, navel-gazy type of piece. It's like actually a legitimately fun, explosive track, and, very interesting choice for a single, that's for sure. Also digging on this new fun one from Courting with RXKNephew, Rollback Freestyle is the name of the track, and it's, this is absolutely insane, like noise, glitch, experimental, electronic, rock, hip-hop fusion. It's just absolute total madness, and I admire it for being as off the rails as it is. And also, finally, shout out to Blood Command, who have this new single out titled Mariah's Song. Believe it or not, it's like this weird alt and emo and metal fusion of a song with some great vocal harmonies, but also the song itself, the tune, the lyrics is legit like a Mariah Carey reference. And yet like it still somehow just like works as a straight up metal song. It rules, honestly. It's actually becoming one of my favorite singles of the year very quickly because of just how out there, but again, like fun and wild it is. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. Hopefully you got some good recommendations out of this video. Weekly track roundup. You guys are the best. Thank you. Appreciate you a million. And I will see you in the next one. Anthony Fantano, weekly tracks forever.